Hello everybody, and welcome to the new and improved edition of Athena's Web. Today we're taking a look at the question, who killed JFK? Well, as many will tell you, there are conflicting theories that are out there. Many people think that it was this, many people think that it was that, and because of that, which one can it possibly be? Well, let's see what we can do with that, shall we? The mob didn't like him because the mob had helped JFK get into office. It was a very slim victory over Richard Nixon, some 120,000 votes throughout the nation, that put JFK into the presidency. And the mob was working behind the scenes under the daily Chicago machine to work to see that Kennedy did get elected. Well, once Kennedy was elected, he appointed RFK, Robert, as his Attorney General, and Robert decided it would be a good idea to go after corporate crime, the mob, in effect. And he worked especially on Jimmy Hoffa and others. And many feel as though this was part of the reason that Robert was so broken up after the assassination, the obvious reasons aside, was that he had been responsible for that and perhaps pushed too hard, pushed too far. The CIA, in the Bay of Pigs fiasco, had in fact used the mob as an allegiance in an effort to overtake Castro's Cuba once again. They wanted their casinos back. So the CIA had previously worked with the mob. The CIA throughout the 50s had been working on overthrowing certain regimes, not in particular in the American interest, so they felt. So after the Bay of Pigs fiasco, which Kennedy allowed them to talk him into, although he told them he would not provide air cover if things went awry. Things went awry, he did not provide air cover, and this was the reason for a good deal of the animosity that the Cubans felt towards him afterwards. Many of their comrades had been murdered in that takeover. The military didn't like him because he appeared to be going soft. He agreed not to attack Cuba. He, with Khrushchev, said that he would back off, and this was seen as being weak. This was not the president that this nation needed, in their humble opinion. So the military didn't like him because he was also wanting to bring his troops back home from Vietnam by December of 1965 and was beginning to make moves in that direction. Now, all three of these had worked together towards seeing the overthrow of other regimes. This was the first time, potentially, that they were coming together and to overthrow the American regime. The oil men didn't like him because, first of all, oil men get paid big bucks during wars. It takes a lot of oil to run the machinery of war. And Kennedy, JFK, was going to cut back on the oil allowance, the oil allotment allowance that was entitled, or up until that time, legislatively, legally, for the oil men. He was going to change that, so the oil men didn't like him. And behind all of this was the figurehead of LBJ, who was very angry with the Kennedys for having overtaken the 1960 election. And where LBJ is concerned, can you say Madeline Duncan Brown? Google it. Well, that's about it here from Dealey Plaza. Who killed JFK? They were all a part of the plot. Take it easy, everybody.